Hi guys, this is Starcraft and welcome to the Starcraft English commentary. This is gonna be one of those guaranteed to be epic, awesome kind of game release early for those who support me. In the last 30 days, as usual, these games gonna be stored in a playlist called private and early release videos for namkraftvn supporters. Please go ahead and bookmark this playlist. If you have not checked out this playlist, go ahead and do that. Let's dive into this game right away. There's gonna be a nice encounter in the DPL series between Light and Best. As of today, as you can see, the lineup for the two teams, they only have 4 players because maybe it's near the Lunar New Year and the players are out there getting some bling bling red envelopes. Mini Light Rush Queen representing one team. The other one is going to be Snow, Best, Royal, and Speed. Speed is a #1 laddernet pro gamer / amateur, but he's playing here anyways. And the two contests we're going to be having is going to be Light versus Best. The map is 4-star. This is a brand new map. We have not seen this map in any tournament so far. We've only had it in the DPL series. This is what the map looks like. It's like a swastika or Buddhist sign, depending on the way you look at it. Is the glass half full or half empty, right? It kind of depends on your perspective on that. But anyways, yeah, so PVT Best is looking very, very strong these days. And Light as well has always been up there. If you look at the Elo stats for today, let me just quickly show you. He are the top 10 broodwar players. And as you can see there, Light is number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And Best, I guess Best is not in the top 10, excuse me, so he's no longer in the top 10. But let's see how these two players are going to be duking it out in this league. So before the game gets set up, let me just show you something else. Maybe I'm just going to show you my fans. And thank you so much for your support in the last 2 days, Mr. McDonald, my English teacher. Thanks a lot for your support. Mr. C Goblins. I like it that when you're posting you're a Protoss player, right? You have to be the Protoss player. I think Mr. Shane from the United of States have not heard I've not heard from you for the longest time possible. Please leave a comment. Whatever, man, just what are you up to? Mr. Thomas from Baltimore, thanks a lot for your support. In the last 30 days, where's Mr. Thomas? There he is. Thanks a lot for your support in the last 30 days. So let's dive right into this game. Light versus Best on 4-star. Yeah, so we know that the upcoming ASL might be delayed until March, which is actually a sign of a blessing for me because I'm super busy until then. Maybe I would have some time to breathe around March, but usually I'm crazily busy guys, so I would try to find some time to cast these games. But let's see how these guys could be faring out on this map. 4-star here looks like cross spawning positioned with our friend Light at the top left and Best is gonna be at the bottom right. Terran versus Protoss. Yeah, so the score started up 1-1 in the series, so this is not very important for these two players to win or anything like that. Oh, new Gettysburg mini score, you can see that. Yeah, so we're gonna be having a quick expansion coming out from Best. This is not a super quick expansion because he's got the gateway first already. As for Light, he is getting ready to take expansion as well. His mineral is hovering around 260 as you can see, so he will take an expansion and be at a slight loss compared to his enemy. The SCV is in the middle of the map now going around and he will find this expansion very, very soon. Yeah, so I think Best is the one who's happy here. He's going to be able to attack one hit at that Marine. As you can see, damage about 10 of the HP of the Marine already. The Dragoon is out. It will stop this SCV, and let's see if the SCV can get actually on the high ground. The SCV is going to move back so he doesn't see. I think he saw the expansion. If he doesn't see, he could actually guess the expansion timing because why would you ever, have... a Dragoon that late, right? It's gonna be the question I kind of have in my mind. But anyways, the game will continue to go on. We're gonna see exactly what is the timing of this game, how far long. I'm just gonna use my internal clock here. I guess I started this cast about 5 minutes ago, so let's just say 35. So about 5 minutes of playtime has passed here, and we're gonna be going into the robotic support bay. Very interesting build now from Best. SCB is going to get transferred, so things are going to be looking well and good. And Light is going to attempt one of his Light S push. This is so signature-ish of him. After the expansion goes up, he would just lightly poke to see if there's any Dragoons or anything like that. The Vulture will follow up, so there's going to be a 2 Vulture, 1 tank, 4 Marine push. On this other map, if the Protoss player has gone for kind of late robotics, late Dragoon range in favor of faster robotics, robotics, he will be in some serious trouble. As you can see, the Dragoon range is still spinning. He will have 3 Dragoons. The third one will need to join the fray now. This early Dragoon will get hit, and Best has taken 2 hits from it, 3 hits, and he loses his shield, but now he's doing fine. The Vultures out here, and the point of the Vulture is to lay the mines and deter any kind of third base from going up. There are going to be two potential locations for the third base, but we will have fast observers, and look at the placement of the pylon around this location for Best. That signals to me that he will be hiding his tech in the later parts of the game. Maybe some quick carriers possibly, and or maybe something like I don't know, Cidivadoon and Templar Archive. He goes for that part. But anyways, for the time being, it's going to be Robo plus Ops coming out first, and mines getting placed in various locations by Light. This is very textbook. I mean, this is so standard, so basic. And you know, I've been thinking about that. How can a Protoss player quickly expand towards the third base without revealing that he's got observers, without revealing that he's got robotic support play and those kind of things? So I've been thinking a lot about that, guys. Anyways, let's just change the song for us, because why not? Let's have some nice music to go along with this game. By the way, am I using the right mic? Because in the previous game, I have not been using the right mic, so I apologize for that. I'll just quickly check the properties. Yeah, it is the right mic, so things are looking well and good here. We are going to be having a small encroachment here by Light, but finally the mine has got cleared out, and third base coming out from Best. 3 gate Goon from Best, and as for Light, he's got 2 factories. One factory is with the add-on, the other one doesn't have the add-on. There's going to be a small push from Light once again along the right corridor. He wanted to kind of wedge himself around this area to stop Dragoons, and these 2 forces are going to be meeting each other. Nice attack first from Light, and Best, one of the Dragoon is really damaged. You need to pull the weak Dragoons back. He's doing some good shot reinforcement from the back. There's going to be a total of, what is it, 7 Dragoons. Looks like there's going to be a small attack. The tanks are not yet died. There's going to be a mine drag that kills some Marines. Reinforcement from the right side, as you can see here, is going to be able to do some damage, and the tanks get pushed back. Another Dragoon has fallen, but there's still going to be tanks. These Vultures are going to be doing sick damage. The Dragoons are not in position. Probes are forced to get pulled here. What can Light accomplish with that harassment? And as for Best, he doesn't have observers. He's moving without observer, but now he's got observers. The tank don't have siege mode. I want to see what exactly is happening at the expansion, though. Looks like these Vultures are going to get destroyed. The tanks have been sieging, so it's going to be good. The Vulture gets on the high ground. It's going to wedge himself here. The probes need to run and attack. Looks like he's doing a lot of sick shots here, and the last bit, the Vultures clears himself out and checks himself out. But behind this, Best has got his third base. You need to start to saturate his third base now. So as you can see, probes are going to start to get transferred to the third base, because you need that third base economy. Vulture's looking forward to go out there and do some harassment, because as you know, Best has not yet closed off his gap, so that's going to be the problem. Vultures can see that the Dragoons have retreated. It's going to be the moment now, I think, for Light to move out and do some harassments with the Vultures. He's done some good harassments in the beginning part of the game. Army is up, so the army will be able to have some quick upgrades for Light here. Looks like we're going to be having Reavers coming out from Best. He needs to wall himself up at the third base right now. I think he's got some Dragoons and possibly some pylons that these Vultures going to try to get on the high ground, but the fact they cannot get on the high ground means that the high ground is blocked. You can see that the Vultures can actually try to hit the high ground, and if he doesn't, oh my god, there's going to be a run through. What the heck is happening here? Best is so newbie. He's gonna let 3 Vultures, but there's a Reaver. I think there is a Reaver there. There's a Zelle and a Reaver, so these Vultures will get pushed back, but there might be a mine drag at some point. He's gonna try to clear out, and the last of the Vulture will go and hide in the southern side. Yeah, there's a hole here, man. There is a hole. There is a hole, and it looks like that Vulture will hide all the way in the back. He would take one last shot, but that is going to be the end of that Vulture harassment. But that bought enough time, I think, for Light to set his turrets up. There's an observer right here, so Light can see exactly what is the defensive structure inside of, Best can see what is the defensive structure inside of Light's base, and he will need to react accordingly. Yeah, but for the time, I think Best is just going to be waiting for Reaver and speed of the shuttle. Is that a second Reaver? That is the second Reaver. It's going to be going for a double Reaver attack. But I would say that during this time, Best need to, he need to kind of focus on getting his 4th base. He needs to secure his 4th base before he decided to go out there for harassment. There's a mine here that can spot where the shadow is flying across, so we shall see what is going to be the next move for these two players. A lot of truths going to get created. There's going to be a nice scan. Dragoons coming up to try to snipe the Goliath, but before that, the Observer is sniped first. Sniping Observer is also a signature by Light. He loves to snipe the Observer. He's so good with that because the few Observers the Protoss player has, the fewer shadows he's got, and another Vulture gets in, and Best is not paying attention, losing once again a lot of forces. Best only 97 supply, 99 supply. He's only about 7 to 8 supply more than his opponent, which is not really what you want to have at this point in time. But there's going to be a quick expansion going up, as you know, on Polestar. This base has got 2 entrances. It's on the high ground, so if that base gets assaulted and successfully won by Best, then it's going to be very hard for Light to come back and get that base. As you can see, Best is trying to clear out that area to make sure his opponent cannot move across and gain that base. But there's going to be Reavers waiting on the high ground, and looks like Terran has decided to skip that high ground altogether and take the detour, go around the other side of the map. There are a few mines here to spot. Looks like there's gonna be a small attack here. That's a nice shot, and that was really unfortunate. The Reaver is gonna lose itself, but the Reaver will take a lot of great shot against the Goliath. The tanks are not in position to support. All of these Reavers get saved. One Reaver died, but before that, all of the Goliaths have died. So that was not a good trade at all by any stretch of imagination by Light. He lost like 6 or 7 Goliaths to get a Shadow and a Reaver. That's not very good. And now we're gonna be having a replacement Shadow as well, and Zealot is getting in position. So this push is looking rather thin for Light. Now the question is, what about Zealot with lag? We want to see Zealot with lag done now. If it's not, that it's going to be some problem. It looks like we're going to be having something. And this ridge here at the bottom side is going to be very devastating. It's going to be very hard to see for Terran around that area. Zealot is waiting for Zealot with lag. It looks like Zealot with lag is getting ready. Zealot with lag is done. He's going to move across now. Where's the Shadow? The Shadow is a little bit late to the party. He needs to actually attack with the Shadow first because there are no Goliaths. So just attack with the Shadow. There's a lot of Zealot with lag, and actually there's going to be a Reaver as well to kill out the last of the remaining tank, the forces on the right side for Protoss to actually engage himself with the left side. The Reaver will take some good shot. He will clear out one more tank. There's going to be a mine drop possibly. The Reaver takes a hit there, but then he clears out all of the tanks. So it looks like Light's tank count is resetted. New Gettysburg spaceport. Very nice. And as you can see, after the battle is over, Light is behind by about 40 supply. This is not a good situation for the Terran player. What about the 3rd base? Looks like finally the command center is going to go up here, but it's going to be very delayed. Looks like these Vultures going to be looking for some areas to exploit here, but there are cannons at the 3rd base. There's a Reaver at the expansion, and there's not a lot of spaces for this Vulture to kind of maneuver. They try to get on this high ground, but there's nothing there. I think he doesn't even try because he knows that there's a wall and there's a pylon. There's going to be a Shadow that flies in. What is it? Inside a Reaver and a Zealot. Maybe the Reaver would take a good shot. Is that a dud? That is a good shot. That kills 4 SCVs, but that Reavers with damage from before he would die. This turret, though, is very close to getting destroyed. Keep in mind that SCV within the command center was sniped as well, so the command center was delayed by about 5 to 10 seconds there. For the timing, Light is behind by about 30 supply, but don't count him out because he's been upgrading his forces for longest time possible, so he's going to be able to have some nice chance to go out there and to go for some kind of attack in the upcoming part of the battle. Let's go ahead and change the song because in this series, I have the power to change the music, guys. So here's another song for you guys. Let's enjoy the Starcraft excellent music, but Zerg is coming up next for the music, so let's see about that in the future. But anyways, 4th base coming up for Best because Best has got a lot of money in the bank. He needs to use his money now. He's ahead by about 30 supply, but Light insists on pushing this high ground around this area. Is good for Best to hold, but he decided not to hold it. He's gonna lose some of his forward Dragoons, and he's attacking kind of with only half of his forces. Where's the rest of his forces? You can see they're joining from the southern side. The Shadow is gonna be the target for sniping here by the Goliath. There are 3 Goliaths. Where's the Shadow? There's the Shadow, and looks like he's gonna push the tanks back. There's not enough tanks. There's not enough of Goliaths, but Light smartly retreats and saved the most of his tanks here, so that's gonna be very good. These Zealots gonna try to come out here, and that one tank on the low ground is gonna get pushed back. So that was a little bit unfortunate for Best. He could have just killed the entire enemy's force right there and right at that moment, but he decided to let them retreat, and that's always a problem for Protoss. You need to kill out the Terran forces in whole. You need to get them destroyed so they cannot go back and haunt you later. Anyways, there's gonna be some cannons getting created here. Probe's gonna be very fearful. The Vultures will run in. There are some cannons getting created. He's looking for some openings, but he gets pushed back. and he will get attacked on this other side of the map as well. So 4 bases going up for Protoss. As for Terran, the 3 bases got set up, so that's very, very nice and good, exchange it. And now Light is behind by about 45 supply. Where are the high temperatures? We need to actually see him planted there. Shuttle with speed for sure, great, and these probes are actually sent at the wrong time. They're slightly unfortunate for Best. They are sent all the way inside the main base, as you can see here. Which is not very, very good, but anyways, that's just wasting a couple of hundreds of minerals. Not a biggie at this point in time. Best 160 supply, Light 126. The game is still very much balanced. There is going to be something here. Is that an observers? I think that is an observer. I was thinking there might be a shuttle, but Temper Archive is done, so we will have a lot of high temperatures, a lot of storms. So fasten your seatbelt. There's going to be some crazy attack. What is this unit here? That's a shuttle. There's a shuttle here. Observer is able to see that there's a lot of defenses. So looks like for the time. Okay, that's not the shuttle, guys. That was a fast observer. Observers have speed now. Best is getting ready to take a 5th base at the 6 o'clock position. I really like this map, Polestar. It looks like he's got some nice potential for some great games in the future. So we shall see what is going to be coming up next. Let us just quickly check once again what the map looks like. That is what the map looks like. So there are still a lot of bases left for these players to take. For the time being, looks like Best is going to move forward. He will gain this high ground advantage. He will come forward now, and looks like Light has retreated into his corner of the map. We like to see this kind of quadruple shadow drop from Best. It's always very fun to watch. And as for Terran, well, it's just basically defend and then aid move when the Protoss makes some mistakes, right? Anyways, looks like Best is coming up to 5 bases now. Very, very big epic encounters in waiting for us. 186 supply for Best, 142 for Light, and of course, a lot of money is at stake here. These guys live and die for the money, just like me. I need to do multiple jobs in addition to casting Starcraft to get some money because I am poor. Triple shadow start to fly around here. Goliaths are looking to snipe the shadow. The first shadow died right away, but High Templar is getting casted, and there's gonna be 0 storm. There's 1 storm. No, 0 storm. 0 storm. That was so unfortunate, and all of the Protoss forces have bled it there. 135 supply for Best and 136 for Light. What amazing results here for Light. He's gonna have to push forward now. And as for Best, you need to hold on. Probes once again getting transferred at the wrong time, as you can see the bottom side of the map. And now it's gonna be a chance for Light to take out at least 1 base. He needs to find 1 base to take it out. He's looking for openings. I guess his 3 o'clock position is ripe to be taken here. He's gonna be very careful because he's gonna be on the low ground. High Templar has got enough mana, I think, to cast at least 1 storm. That is a great first storm. The damage is only 1 tank though, and that High Templar is gonna get sniped. He will hide on this high ground. He's got a lot of cannons, so he can actually reinforce from the sky with Shadow. There's a smaller force of Protoss on this left side waiting out there to actually catch any kind of incoming units. Do we see Stargate? There is no Stargate, guys. There's only Shadows and High Templars and Zealot. These tanks get on the high ground now, so that's gonna be the moment now for Protoss to decide to save it using Shadows. I think, but counter-attack against the 3rd base. Looks like at the last split, Protoss gonna back up because Terran's gonna push forward. Keep in mind that we've seen in some games there was a base trade situation, and when the Terran player is able to take out the expansion, the game just completely spiral out of control. So that is something that we don't want to see here. This tank is nicely positioned. This is like a pawn in a chess game. It's so far forward that it's so easy to snipe, but it's also protected by several tanks on the back. So this kind of structural positioning is very important in Starcraft as it is in chess. And now it looks like there's going to be a small wedge of Terran forces. Now this force of Terran is in the middle, and it's going to be surrounded from 4 angles, guys. There are 3, not 4, maybe 3, maybe they're 4, I'm not so sure. There are 4 ways to approach this area, and that's going to be very, very devastating. It looks like we're going to be having a counter-attack from Best because he's got a huge amount of forces. I think he's going to fly some shuttles as well. He's going to try to force a game, a base trade-ish situation, but at the last minute, the command center gets lifted here. But what about the expansion? There's going to be shuttles looking for openings here, and yeah, keep in mind the expansion to be sniped by Best. So Light has won a base at least. So now temporarily it's going to be 2 base for Terran versus 3, excuse me, for Protoss. These tanks are nicely positioned, and this base, if it falls, and Light will be 2 base. He will gain 2 bases of Protoss. Looks like Shadow trying to fly out there to save the base. These Protoss forces are not being used at all. Goliaths are waiting to snipe the Shadow. The Shadow will be hiding on high ground. He can actually try to have some storms from the high ground. That might be something that's going to be looking forward to. For the time being, the probes are hiding in the back. And Protoss coming from all sides now. Goliaths are not paying attention. Beautiful storm against a clumped up tank from the high ground. Zelle supporting from the back. but it's not yet destroyed. These tanks are still alive. This tank, even though they're damaged, they're still alive. But at the last minute, all these tanks are going to be falling now, so that's going to be very good. We're going to be having maybe make some Dark Templar. Dark Templar will be great at this point. This base is safe, guys. Prop will be able to resume mining, so only one base was sniped in that exchange. But if you look at Light's situation, he also regained his command center, so that's that. We need to have more shuttle to fly out to save this. These tanks are so weak and damaged right now, but it looks like Light is scrambling to get himself back in the game here. Zelle start to move across because there are no Goliaths, there are no vultures, there are no mines. They just come out and do some splash damage, which is great. The single Archon buying a lot of time. I think now it's going to be a moment for Best to hide on this high ground now. He just need to hide on high ground. There's going to be some crazy mine drag that kills several tanks, which is great. One more tank's going to get sniped. Supply-wise, Best 121, Light 195, but Light is going to be taking yet another base. If Best loses his base, the game, I think, is going to be over soon, right? This base is very close to dying, but I guess it's been mining for a while, so maybe Best doesn't mind losing it. But what is going to be the next move here? Because Protoss is down one base, Terran still have 3 bases. Well, if you look at Light's situation, he's also mined out his main and his expansion. He's been mined out for a while, guys. Anyways, these pros gonna have to go back now. Some vultures looking for openings, which is great, but this is just more than a nuisance and a real problem. I guess, yeah, it is a real problem because the number of probes for Best is not very good, man. He's very low on probes. What about the next move? What about shuttles? We've seen in some previous games that Best tend to forget in the mid to late game situation that he can use shuttle to fly things around. Protoss is a flying race. They are sons of the dragons. You know, they're not mortals and they're not animals. They're dragons, and dragons are not animals, as we all know. But anyways, there's going to be a 4th case coming up. Zober is able to see very nicely here. And Best, we need to clear these minefield first. Will he re-establish? I would say no, because this base is mined out at the 3 o'clock position very much already, so he doesn't actually need it. If he wants to take another base, it's got to be somewhere else. But yeah, Best is on the back foot. Even though he's got a lot more supply, he will need to use the shuttle. Look at how many bases Light expanding to. He's lifted his command center, so he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bases, and he's got even more bases than Protoss. So I would say that yeah, Best is gonna be in some serious trouble here, but we shall see what is gonna be next. A single Zelle coming out, and during this time, Best needs to use this time to clear mines, establish potential for new bases. Even though he doesn't take them just yet, he needs to establish those potentials right now, and use a lot of shuttle. Do not move ground forces like this because Terran is trying to stretch him out. Very thin observers coming out and seeing this command center has been lifted. So yeah, a lot of SV is gonna get destroyed here. They will all die. Good catch here by Best. He's cleared a lot of command centers. He will clear this turrets. He will try to clear the command center, but I think it's not possible. Best is still ahead by about 50 supply. Light has got fresh base, so he's got 4 bases. Well, now he's back to having 4 bases. And as for Protoss, he's still on 1, 2, 3, 4 bases, which are mining nicely, I guess. But I think Protoss at some point will need another base soon. Light is ahead. Best is ahead by about, wow, he's ahead by about 50 supply now. I don't know how that works. But I think fast shuttles and high templars will need to be deployed a lot to win the game here for Protoss. Yeah, looks like Light is gonna be just defending very nicely here. He says, you know what? I have the number of bases, say the same number of bases as you, so I would just hold out here and hope that at some point in the future you would just come in here and lose a lot of forces. There's going to be a crazy attack. The shuttle is going to start to fly forward here. Are there enough stuff to stop the shuttle? This first shuttle has just Zelle. The second shuttle has got high temper. It dies right away though. This clumped up Protoss force is not good, but reinforcement from the right side, and looks like Light's got surrounded. He doesn't have enough mines here. He's need to target the Dragoons with his tank shot, but there's still plenty of Dragoons left over, and the last of the tanks have fallen. There are only 2 tanks remaining. There are only 0 tanks remaining. 1 tank from the low ground could not do anything. This base is gonna get completely whacked out here, and that's gonna be a lot of SCVs lost in the process. Does he have, and do we have any kind of counter attack from Light? Light is not counter attacking. He decided to sack his base and be back to 3 bases. Keep in mind that Protoss will be mined out soon as well. He's been mining a lot though. A lot of SCVs falling, and Light is behind by about 40 supply. What is going to be the next move now from Light? Does he go for the counterattack? He decided the key to victory would be to go for harassment. Vultures running around. As Terran, you need to remember to put mines. You need to always remember to put new mines, because old mines always get sniped during the battles. So you need to go out there and put a lot of new mines. There's only a single vulture hiding out here. and he will not be able to do anything. That vulture will get cleared out very quickly. There's some Zelle coming out to support, and the game will reset. Light is behind by about 50 supply. Once again, he's got only 2 tanks with his main force. You need to reland the command center right now. Need to reland his other command center as well. Keep in mind, in these kind of scenarios, scanners are thin and scarce. There's not a lot of scanners going, around for everybody to use, guys. So, Protoss need to take advantage of that and build some Dark Templar, new Getty Spaceport military personnel only. Very nice sign there. Yeah, I really love this kind of small artifact, the small, details that the map maker has put inside the map. Like, look at this structure. These structures are beautifully made. They're so intricate. They're so delicate. Anyways, the command center lands now. Best is ahead by about 7 supply, but he needs to use his shuttle and he needs to start to establish another base somewhere on this map. At least get it ready to get set up, man. Because Terran is on 4 bases. He would do another major attack. I think in terms of numerical advantage, yes, Best has got it. Because the number of tanks are very slow, but he needs to maybe, I'd say, think about the economy as well. But yeah, for the time being, Best says, you know what, I'm just gonna hold on to this other map. I think he's getting ready to retake this base, which is not the right choice, man. He's getting ready to, this base is like mined out already. Take another base somewhere else. Take the base at the bottom left, for example, or anywhere else on this map would be much better. The shuttles will fly out here because there are not enough turrets, which is a nice move. There's a mine hit to spot though. There's a mine hit to spot the shuttle flying out, but for the time it looks like Light is not paying attention. His mine is occupied with the vultures getting sniped. The shuttle flies through, and what is the reaction? SCVs are flying fast enough. He does a good shot. He kills the sciences, so that is a good storm that damages a lot of units. He might cast one more storm. He's getting ready. No, he doesn't have enough energy. There's another command center floating all the way out here, so Light is always expanding greedily, just flying command centers everywhere. His house got everything, but he's got plenty of command centers to fly around. But anyways, looks like there's gonna be another Nexus getting set up now at the 7 o'clock position. There's a lot of floated stuff, and looks like Light has used a lot of his command center. His main and his expansion don't have command centers, so there are only 2 scanners right now. Keep that in mind, but we do have science vessels. So if that 2 science vessels get sniped sometime in the future, then that's going to be very problematic for Light. Light is behind about, once again, 70 supply. You need to think about what to do about that. Protoss has got a nice lead here, but this base is fragile, and any moment that Terran comes out and destroyed is going to be a problem. But one good thing for Best, he's got plenty of gas. He's remade his Nexus. He's got a lot of gas, and with gas comes high temperatures. We know that, right? Of course, some of those geysers get destroyed, get depleted, in the future, but still, you can still make a lot of gas, which is depleted geyser. But anyways, this command center at the 1 o'clock position will land, so Terran will be up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bases. I think 5 bases is okay. Anyways, what is going to be the next move now for both of these players? I think Light, he just needs to pray to God he doesn't lose, because he is severely behind. He's very defensive. He's very passive, just waiting for the apple to drop from the tree. But as Isaac Newton says, one force of reaction is caused by another force of action. So if you don't do any kind of action, how do you expect to have reaction, right? So you need to actually react right now to get some actions done. We're going to be having nice attacks. Best is maxed out. He starts to move across the map now. He's gearing for a huge attack against a 130 position. There's going to be some tank attacking from the high ground, which isn't such a bad idea, but the cannons will be buying so much time. As a couple of Zelle start to come out here. The last of the vultures have fallen, so this tank can only shell the Nexus, not the probe line. The huge attack for Protoss, though, is going to be dangerous. These Zelle got to be careful, because there's some minefield as well. Looks like that cannon's going to get destroyed. There's going to be a major attack. A single pawn in front of the pawn structure is buying a lot of time, and Zelle going to eat up a lot of minefield, but this tanks will finally fall. This is a huge attack. A single engine bay buying so much time, but Terran process get pushed back hard. Ladies and gentlemen, I think this going to be the end of this game, possibly for Light, because he's going to be losing a lot of forces. He could not mine for the new base. Zelle coming through. A lot of Dragoons. We don't even need shadows anymore. 1 tank remaining. 2 tanks remaining. A lot of vultures going to get pushed back. Only 1 last tank, and this is going to be possibly GG. So I'm going to be able to sing my song now at some point in the future. Maybe put out some song. Hold on. Where's the song? Hold on. Where's the song? Let us put out the Zerg song, or maybe the Protoss victory song. Thanks a lot for watching. If you'd like to discuss with me, buy me coffee into that. It's going to be in the video description. I will see you soon. Bye-bye.